Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, I'm back home. It's good to be back. If you guys don't know, I was actually with my parents at their place for a couple days. Just thought I'd take a vacation from school and everything like that. I'm about to graduate, so I thought I'd go visit one more time. Just kind of getting that extra trip. But with that said, I did have a pretty successful past couple of days. I made a lot of money, and I'm probably gonna make a video about that tomorrow if you guys are interested. And if you are, leave a comment down below just saying you would like to see that. I did make a lot of money, and with that said, I implemented a couple strategies that I think are new that I haven't talked about on this channel and that you guys can implement. So again, if you want to see that, leave a comment down below. But with that said, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of selling on the Facebook Marketplace. So with that said, let's get into it. So how I'm going to structure this is basically going to go through three cons, just kind of go through what I think about them, and then obviously go to the pros. I'll also have three of those, so just some of the main points, and obviously there's more to this actual Facebook Marketplace app, but I'm just kind of giving you an overview of exactly what I think, because it is one of the platforms that I use every single day to help create my business and make some extra profit. So with that said, the first con that I have with posting an item on the Facebook Marketplace, and if you guys don't know, I resell phones on there, but this could be applicable to anybody, whether you're selling an electronic, a piece of clothing, a car. But when you're posting on the Facebook Marketplace, your ad can only get really noticed once it starts to get traction. And with that said, if you go put out an ad and nobody messages you, the most likely reason nobody is messaging you is just simply because it hasn't been seen, not because you're putting out a bad ad. Yes, that could be the reason you're not having a right title or picture or description. It just doesn't look like you're a trustworthy seller, but also it could be it's just not getting traction, because with the Facebook Marketplace, it has an algorithm where basically the more traction it gets, the higher it is ranked on the page. So if you open up Facebook Marketplace and you'll see the first item listed on there is there because it's honestly getting the most traction, and therefore Facebook recognizes that as a good product, and therefore it's going to be willing to have, it's going to give the benefit of the doubt to the seller that more people will be messaging you because you put up a good product, it's probably good priced, you put up good pictures, and Facebook just obviously likes for people like that to be on their platform. So with that said, one trick that I have for you guys is that when you list something, always get like a family friend or like a friend or maybe your girlfriend, whoever you really talk to a lot, message them, go tell them exactly what you put out there on the Facebook Marketplace. Tell them to go to your profile and then just click I'm interested in this item, or have them message you through that actual product, because there's so many products that get listed every single day on Facebook Marketplace. So if you get at least just one person messaging you, that's preferred over Facebook over just a view. You're going to rank a lot higher, and therefore more people will start to see your actual ad. And obviously there's thousands of things that get listed every day, so people really have to scroll, but as more people start messaging you, you'll start to get more traction. So overall, once you put an ad, obviously make sure you take the right steps to actually post it with the right title, right description, and good pictures, but also get that one or two people to message you through that ad. And if you have more than one person, obviously it's preferred, and you're going to start ranking up a lot higher there, and eventually you should get traction on every post if you list it the right way, but it might just take longer. So if you have other people message you, just friends or something like that, shoot you a message just saying I'm interested in this item, even though obviously they're not going to buy the item. Facebook will just see that as somebody interested in the item, and they'll rank you a lot higher, and more people will start to message you, and you'll probably get better offers, because it's kind of the law of averages in terms of the more people that message you, you'll probably get a higher number in the end. The second con that I have for the Facebook Marketplace app is there really isn't any review system. And with that said, that's why I do like platforms like OfferUp and Letgo. Specifically OfferUp, that's one platform that I use the most to make my money in this business model in terms of iPhone reselling. Simply because it has a review system, and it helps build credibility for you, but also for others. So if you're going out to look to buy a phone, you're able to see, is this person trustworthy? You can see when they join the app. With Facebook Marketplace, it's kind of tough to tell, because obviously most people have been on Facebook for over 10 years, just based on the average age of Facebook users. So obviously you can't really tell when they've been on, how long they've been on the platform, and if they sold any other items. You can see what they're currently selling, but with that said, you can't see any reviews or any 5-star down to 1-star reviews on them, which is kind of annoying, and something I think they'll eventually add, seeing competition and seeing how the reselling game is obviously growing every single day, and it's just going to keep getting bigger as we go into the future. So I think Facebook Marketplace has a lot to work on in terms of that, having a pretty streamlined customer review basis, because I really think it'll help everyone from the perspective of the buyer and the seller side. So with that said, it's just a con, and it really just holds accountability like the other apps. I'm not trying to buy something from somebody that just joined yesterday and obviously has no reviews. I'm more likely going to go out and buy a phone from somebody that has 30 plus reviews. So the third con that I have is more related to my industry, and that's phone flipping. And with that said, it's basically Facebook is very kind of stingent on putting out wanted ads. Obviously, there's like you can put out wanted ads on Craigslist. It's literally a section there. With Facebook Marketplace, all they really want to see is like literally physical items being sold. So for somebody like me or you who's potentially getting into phone flipping or already is, we have to put out ads out there so people can come to us to try to sell their cell phones. Yes, we can go out and look for phones, but that's something that takes a lot of time, and it's just not very valuable to us. And we get more messages that way, and more phones come to us, so we're able to get more profit. So it is a big part of our business. So putting out wanted ads on Facebook Marketplace is very tough, and I honestly think it's only going to get tougher in the future. But it's obviously something we have to adapt to. And obviously, if you've watched my videos, there's certain strategies you can take with like putting certain types of pictures, certain keywords, and certain keywords not to put in the title, and certain things to put in the description. So again, it's just kind of, they're kind of sticklers on that end in terms of like their algorithm to figure out which are really products they're selling on there, and then weeding out people like us who don't take the certain precautions in terms of like putting out wanted ads. So now I'm going to go into the actual pros. I have 3 of these as well, and obviously there's more than just these 3, but I've kind of combined them as best as I could into 3 separate points. And that first one is, I've noticed over the time, I've been doing iPhone reselling for a couple months now, and one thing I've noticed with the Facebook Marketplace is it's much easier to sell like newer types of phones. So if a lot of your phones you're buying are like iPhone X's, iPhone 7 Pluses, iPhone 8s, it's going to be a lot easier to sell on the Facebook Marketplace, and you're usually able to actually sell on a platform like Facebook Marketplace. Whereas if you list one of those newer phones, and obviously these are higher ticketed price items, sort of ranging from like $500 to $1,000+. So a lot of people that go on the OfferUp platform, you have to kind of think of who the market is. People on Facebook Marketplace are pretty much always have access to it because most people already have Facebook. So you're probably going to get more of a middle class to upper class audience looking for actual phones on there. And you're not going to see as much of them on OfferUp. It just makes sense. It's not something, I'm not saying like that's always the case, but just something that I've noticed is like it's much easier to sell higher priced items on Facebook Marketplace. So it's definitely a plus, but obviously there's a con with that. It's kind of harder to sell used phones. It's not really necessarily hard, but there's better platforms like that, like OfferUp, LetGo, and like 5 Mile to sell those phones. But something like Facebook Marketplace is great for selling your higher ticketed items, ranging from like iPhone 7 Pluses to iPhone X's, and it's more likely that you're actually going to sell the phone if you're trying to sell it locally. And obviously it's always easiest to sell any kind of phone on eBay, but if you're selling locally, like a lot I do, about 60% that way, Facebook Marketplace is typically the platform that I go to sell higher ticketed price items. So the second pro that I have is both looking from the buyer and seller perspective, but it's honestly harder to scam and to get scammed on the platform. I hope none of you are obviously going on there selling a phone when it's really iCloud locked and not telling the seller, because one, that's like very legally bad, and two, it's just not the moral right thing to do. So as I mentioned before, looking from the buyer perspective first, it's a lot harder to get scammed because there is accountability. Again, I said there was no review basis, but with that said, pretty much people's lives are on that platform, especially now since Facebook Marketplace is a new platform. People are starting to use it, and you can pretty much only use it with your like personal profile, and most people only have personal profiles on there. So if somebody's going to try to scam you, you obviously have their full name like pretty much on there most of the time. You have pictures of them, and a lot of the time they have more information regarding that. Some people even have their email and phone number on there. So if you're like a buyer and going on Facebook Marketplace, you're probably going to have better odds of not getting scammed. Whereas an OfferUp, you can kind of make up a name, you can have a fake picture, whatever it may be. It's just kind of easier on that sense. But from a seller's perspective, obviously we can get scammed too. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I've had a lot more trouble with selling on OfferUp than Facebook Marketplace because again, it's this idea of like if you're on that platform, people aren't dumb in the fact that they're able to recognize that they're putting their full name out there. So there's not going to be too many people that are going to try to like give you fake money or try to steal the phone, because obviously their full name is on there, pictures are on there, and you can easily go to the cops and file a police report about that. So again, Facebook Marketplace is honestly my favorite platform next to eBay for trusted buyers and sellers. It's just something you guys should take into consideration. And the third pro that I have for Facebook Marketplace is, I said it has some kinks in it, but with that said, it has a lot of great things in terms of the actual functionality of the app. If you guys don't know, Facebook Marketplace is really taken in consideration releasing a great product, which they have. And obviously, as I said, they had kinks in it, but things like filtering searches on the Facebook Marketplace is very easy. You can search by range, you can search by keyword. And one cool thing you can do on there, which is beneficial to both buyer and sellers, is you can set notifications for keywords. So one thing that I have on my Facebook Marketplace is I set a notification for whenever an iPhone gets posted, I get a notification on there. And obviously I get a lot of notifications because the platform is obviously growing and phones are sold on there every single day. So you can set notifications for whenever something's posted. Especially if you're a buyer, you can set notification for like iPhone, and obviously the more phones out there, you're gonna eventually find the best deal on the phone you're looking for. Especially if you have those notifications, you can be the first one there and obviously grab that deal right away. So that is a big positive. The filtering searches on there is a great feature of the Facebook Marketplace, and is one of the main reasons I do recommend the platform in terms of its trusted kind of credibility and just its functionality. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Hit that little subscribe button below. It's just that little red button. I'd appreciate the support. And if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, it is the first link down below. It's free to join. Just have to answer 3 simple questions, and I'm not going to accept it until you do answer those. So for those of you that have requested and haven't answered those questions, I just appreciate it. It just helps me out a little bit. So with that said, have a great Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.